Secular ethics is a concept that encompasses human moral philosophy and is based on logic, empathy, and reasons. Secular ethics is not reliant on any other powers like God or any other supernatural power. It's based on your inner values.
Secular ethics is not a popular term in religious practices, as it could be interpreted as a rejection of superior things like God. Some even think that secularism and religion are two contradictory beliefs, but in this presentation we will talk about how secular ethics relates to religion and why it's important.
The Dalai Lama's beliefs support secular ethics because religions are based in regional culture, so one religion wouldn't suit everybody well. He points out that everyone wants to be treated with compassion and kindness, while they are automatically adverse to hatred and bigotry. In this way, he presents ethics as an instinctual part of human nature that has nothing to do with one's religion. Because of this, we hold each other to universal standards. We admire or detest certain qualities in people, whether or not we hold ourselves to acting within those standards as well.
The Dalai Lama compares the difference of ethics and religion to the difference between water and tea. Water is essential to survival, while tea is a blending of spices and water, which is nice but not necessary. You can live without tea, but you can't live without water, just as you can be born without religion, but not without the need for compassion. The Dalai Lama argues for a global adoption of secular ethics as a remedy in reducing conflict.
Secular ethics connects us humans to our core inner values and principles of our kind, compassionate, and ultimately good human instinct. The Dalai Lama said, "In fact, one could argue that those who point out the hypocrisy of religious people who violate the ethical principles they proclaim, and who stand up against injustices perpetrated by religious figures and institutions, are actually strengthening and benefiting the traditions themselves."
So, isn't the purpose of religion and Buddhism to become a better human with good morals and live a meaningful and purposeful life? Secular ethics brings us one step closer to that and the goodness of our human nature. Therefore, it can be concluded that religion cannot exist without the philosophy of secular ethics in terms of human nature and human goodness, as God makes ethic a human minimum for people to live by.
In today's world, we live in a diverse society where everyone's cultural upbringings, religious beliefs, and education vary drastically from each other. So, to coexist peacefully, we must all find a common language of mutual acceptance and respect for one another. And this is exactly the principle that secular ethics is built on.
Buddhists believe that all humans are inherently born with good moral principles and values. However, the world around us and our upbringing forces us to see bad acts and thoughts that we then start to adapt. Our ethical framework changes as we are socialized by other people and institutions.
Humans have evolved to be social creatures. We do better in communities rather than living alone, so we've developed traits to work together. People are motivated to be kind to each other to maintain a beneficial society.
One example of secular ethics in use in daily life is the honor code at UVA. The basic ethics are that as a community of trust, we don't cheat or steal from others. Every day we make a choice not only to trust others to uphold these ethics, but also to abide by them ourselves. Because of this, I feel safe leaving my computer in the middle of a library while I leave to get food or take a bathroom break. By not stealing others' possessions, we treat each other with compassion and respect.
While many governments attempt to create legislation without bias from religious beliefs, it can be nearly impossible to escape certain cultural ideologies and practices which are deeply embedded in our society. However, using the basic principles of secular ethics, which involve empathy and compassion for the well-being of others, we could create legislation that truly looks out for the welfare of people. Unfortunately, many political and economic institutions are in place which cloud our ability to empathize with others and often put profit over safety and security of others.
Secular ethics is often easiest to incorporate at the family and community level. People within close proximity whom we care about are easiest to extend empathy and compassion towards, regardless of cultural beliefs. Communities also often have similar interests and backgrounds, which can make relationships easier to form. Secular ethics becomes difficult to adopt when communities of differing backgrounds are connected. Their own cultural moral ethics may clash, and this is where secular ethics is needed the most. However, our extremely interconnected and globalized world from recent technological advancements could help humanize people's perceptions of others, making empathy and compassion easier to occur.
When thinking about secular ethics through the lens of our everyday lives, I realize how important and applicable its values are. When someone does something bad to you, like lie to you or steal from you, it's easy to just get mad at them. However, as humans, we all have the ability to empathize with people, and we should try to understand everyone's point of view, even if someone wronged you. Maybe they were having a bad day, maybe they had a good reason to lie, and putting yourself in their shoes and trying to empathize with them will ultimately help you grow as a person and let go of any grudges or angriness inside of you.
After reading the Dalai Lama's thoughts on secular ethics, I started noticing the ways that I hold myself and other people to ethical standards. I think it's healthy to hold myself to these standards so that I act compassionately towards other people. And while it helps in some cases to hold others to ethical standards, such as it not being morally right to kill someone, it can also lead to unfair judgments of other people. For example, if I hear that someone did something morally wrong, I might think of them as a bad person, even if I don't know them that well. So it's important to keep compassion in mind when judging the ethical actions of others. But for the most part, secular ethics holds society as a whole to common moral standards.
In my interpretation of secular ethics, morals are not clearly defined or written, but rather are based off of people's ability to be compassionate and empathetic towards each other. We can be ethical by just wanting those around you to live well. In my experience with community organizing, I've realized the potential people have to help and care for each other. Systemic change really can be made from the people who make up a community.
Secular ethics influence my life all the time. When someone asks me for a favor, I do what I can to help them out. Sometimes these situations may not help me or even add extra difficulty to my life, but it's the right thing to do to help out your fellow humans whenever possible. By working together, we can accomplish far more than by acting alone. While deciding to do this, I don't take religion into account at all. It's through empathy and a desire to help that I choose to assist people. Secular ethics can help to foster a more cooperative and productive society. While religion is often beneficial in people's lives, it's not for everyone, and the differences between them can cause conflict. Therefore, it's important for people to use their innate goodness to act under a code of secular ethics so that all people are motivated to treat each other with compassion.